Today we're going to look at how to up level a very basic vest top. This is just one I've got here from the supermarket. You might have some of these at home in your drawer, and you can add this beautiful crochet detail. I've been seeing it everywhere at the moment in shops, and this is just something you can recreate yourself and make a DIY inspired crochet edge. Let's get started. You're going to need some thin yarn or some embroidery floss. You're going to need a measuring tape, something sharp, for example a tapestry needle like this one, a 2.5mm crochet hook and a pair of scissors, and also a vest top. Step 1, we're going to make holes in our vest top, and this is the neckline here. What we're going to do is we are going to pierce a hole just above the stitch line there, and what I do is I just put my needle through there. You can actually do this against a rubber, an eraser, or a piece of blue tack, just to protect your surfaces and also your fingers, to be extra careful. So you just put your pointed tool through and you're making that hole there so that you'll be able to put your crochet hook through. Your tapestry needle holes, or however you've made your holes with the pointy tool, are going to be approximately 1/2 inch apart. I've just put these ones in just to illustrate the sort of spacing we're going for, and we're trying not to interfere with the existing stitching as well. So these holes are just above, by a couple of millimeters, the stitch line. Step 2, we're going to add our yarn and make our crochets. Now I'm just going to leave these in for now, just to illustrate more easily in this dark fabric where the stitches are going to be. So I'm just going to pull out my needle there, insert my 2.5mm hook to that hole, through to the other side. I'm going to hold my yarn, I'm going to hold the tail at the back, so I'm just going to leave an amount so that I can sew it in later, and just hold that at the back there. And then the working side, I'm just going to curve our hook there to pull up our loop and pull through the fabric there. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bring the tail, that's the cut edge, around just to the other side, just to help secure it while I make my first crochet. Just making a single crochet there, and then I'm going to insert my hook to the hole again, to the other side, pull up a loop, and another single crochet, and then into the hole again to make our third single crochet there. Now you'll notice I'm doing this quite loosely, I'm just because we're going around the fabric edge, so just give it a little bit of extra space there, and then making our third single crochet, and we've got our first little cluster going on there. So we're going to remove the next tapestry needle, and we're going to insert our hook into the next hole, pull up our yarn, give it a little wiggle, and it's just a new hole there, and then bring that loop up quite loosely, and then bring our yarn through that loop and the next one to make our single crochet. I'm going to repeat this again, making another single crochet, and another single crochet, making 3 in that hole. And let's have a look. There we've got our little clusters, looking really nice as a lovely decorative edge. So we're going to do that again. Insert our hook through the hole in our garment, pulling up a loop, and then pulling through both, making a next single crochet. Into the hole again, pulling up a loop, and then pulling through 2, making another, and then we're going to make a third single crochet, and there you can see we've got these lovely little clusters going on. And just continue all the way around. So you've now almost got back to where you began. You've crocheted from here all the way around and back to here. What we're going to do to close our round is we are going to slip stitch into the beginning chain there. So just going to ease our hook through those 2 loops, and we're going to make a slip stitch by pulling our yarn through those 2 and the 1 on our hook there. And from here, what we're going to do is we're going to pull out a length of our yarn, just enough so we can actually sew in our ends, and we're just going to cut that. And then just to make it super secure, we're going to just take away that piece there. We're just going to hook that and pull it through the loop and give it a little tug to tighten it. And that's fully securing our work there. And now all we have to do is sew in our 2 remaining ends. And you've got this beautiful, beautiful shell edge to your top. Hope you enjoyed that tutorial, and I'll see you on the next one.